Jennifer.
Good morning. How
Hello.
are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Hmm. Can you close that door? It's not quite closed all the way, and I heard you say this thing. Sorry.
That's okay. It's getting settled.
We're working remotely this week. As you know, I think Kaylee might have mentioned that yesterday. So I'm just
Yes.
Yeah,
trying
hi
to.
Jennifer. How are you?
Hi.
All right. What do we have in our meeting room? Got people waiting to come in?
We have 8 people.
Okay.
It's not allowing me to.
Yeah, I made you co-host.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Great. I can admit them. Perfect.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We just have some more people joining us here. Ronnie is not going to be with us today, so you're stuck with me. Sorry about that. But we have our fearless crew here to help us with our office hours today. If you have a question, type it up in chat or raise your hand, and we can go through those first if anybody has any of those burning questions that they want to ask of the group. Yvonne, I'm just going to give it a minute here to see if anybody has a question. Let's see. We do have some subject matters that we're going to go over. Ironically, I did get a question about one of them, about the elections and survey module, knowing that it's election time. So I'm glad that was timely that we were going to talk about that today. Again, any questions? Wants to start off with us today?
I do see a chat from Lisa. Lisa, why don't you, if you could, send an email to me at NIGP at Acclaim Pros. I'll type the email address in and we'll set up a time.
Oh, thank you, Yvonne, for seeing that. Sorry.
Um, since nobody has questions yet, I do want to make a comment for the people who were here 2 weeks ago. And we went through that process of agency members, dropping them, having them still be on the invoice, what you need to do to clean up the invoice, and it didn't work right. And I did follow up with Club Express right after that, and sure enough, it's broken. The way you to do it is the way it should be working, and it's not working. It's a glitch. They said they escalated it up to fix, and I checked with them last Friday and it still has not been fixed. So as soon as that gets fixed and I get notification that Club Express is
Looks like Yvonne has
fixed that
frozen.
issue, the next office everybody can see it.
Thanks, Yvonne. You just froze there for a little bit.
Oh,
I think you said we were just going to notify, once you knew that that fix was repaired, that we would notify the group. Yep, and she is frozen. There you are.
I'm Nicole, can you go off of bandwidth? Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, so we don't have, but thank you for that update. We don't have any, it seems we don't have any questions to start off with today and nothing else in the chat. So we do have a couple subject matters that we are going to discuss. So do we want to start first with the Google search and the marquee? And we'll go over that and then we'll hopefully get some questions and inquiries as we go through these.
Thing me. Yes, please. Okay. Our apologies, we're working remotely and it looks like our internet is unstable. So I'm trying to unconnect from as many sources that we have here as possible so that I don't keep freezing. Okay, so I did want to go over a feature that you might be interested in adding to your website. It is up to you. You can add a Google search function that can search your own website versus other websites, versus regular Google search. So I'm going to use Washington State. I don't know if Jenny's here, but I'm going to use Washington State as an example. And I'm going to also paste the information in the chat on how to do this. So I'm just going to do that right now. And we will go through step by step. Okay, so the first step, if you decide that you want to do this, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you on this page here. There is a Google search bar here that if I'm going to just type one word that I know, I can find quite a few things on this page. If I type in the word abstract, it's going to show me all of the pages on this website that has the word abstract on it. And then if I scroll all the way down, it'll give me the option to also look for that word on all of Google. But this is a specific search bar for your own website that you create if you want to. And the way that you do it, like I said, I put the instructions in the chat. Is your first step is you click on that link for the programmable search engine in Google. And if you want to do this, I recommend doing it quickly rather than later, because I know that like the Google Translate, they had a really nice way to be able to create a Google Translate to put on your website, and they've removed that now. So it's more difficult to do. So this is definitely something you'd want to jump on before they change their mind and make it more difficult to work with. But you just go to this, the link that I put in the chat, and you're going to name your search engine. And so for this example, I'm going to use Washington States. And so I'm going to name it WANIGP. And I could just put site search. And then I'm going to be searching specific pages and not, so I'm going to type in their URL, which is, let's see. And I'm going to add it. And then I'm just going to click that I'm not a robot and click create. And this gives me the code to add to the website. So I'm going to copy that code. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to Washington's, and I won't keep it there. I'll give her the option whether or not she wants to keep it there, but for today, I'm just going to add it here. And I'm going to add it on the home page. And I'm going to add it right now. Going back to this page, you can see it's in the header. So this would require you to go into the website look and feel. And I know that a lot of you are leery about going into the website look and feel. So that's why I'm going to add it below the header instead. So I'm just going to pull a row over, and I don't want it to be 100%. So let's just do something like maybe I'll put it right over here. And I pulled a 33 row, and I'm going to pull in text. Even though you're doing code, you're going to be putting in text. And then it comes in as a plain text editor, and you just want to switch that to the advanced editor right here. And then right here is the design where you would type, but you're actually pasting in the code. So you're going to click on the HTML tab right here. And that code that I copied, I just paste it. And you don't see anything when you go to design, you don't see anything. But when I save it, there's the search bar. It's as simple as that. Really, really easy. Now, again, it's probably better to put it in your header. Then it's going to be on every single page. If you only put it on your home page, you can only go back to the search bar in your home page. But it is tricky to work in the website look and feel, especially in your header. So if you want to create the code and share it with us and ask us to put it in, I can do that very easily. Or if you want to try it, versioning. So I'm not going to save this, like I said, so I'm just going to, well, actually I will save it real quick just to show you real quick. And then I'll go back and change it. So there's the search bar. And I don't know, maybe I do trade show. And then there are the places on the website, on her website, that trade show shows up. So with the, I'm just going to go back here real quick and change this back.
Yvonne, there
That
is
page.
somebody just joined from Washington State. I don't know if they want to make a decision if it's not Ginny, but didn't know if they wanted to make a decision on keeping that.
Sure.
It's Jen Lyman. We're talking about a Google search of the website that you can put on your sites, and we're using yours as an example. So not sure if something you all are interested in keeping there.
Yeah, I'm not a decision maker
Okay.
either. So, but it
That's
sounds like
okay.
a good thing. I love searching.
Okay.
But thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Sure. Just I would save you a step if we wanted to keep it there.
So I'll just go into their website look and feel real quick. And what you would want to do is you'd want to do something in the header. So if I might have clicked too quickly, let me go back. It's the header right here, or maybe you want to put it in your footer, but usually a search would be in the header. And you would just pull a row just like I did up here somewhere, probably a 25, 50, 25 row, so that it would maybe go like this up here. Now you can see one of the reasons I don't recommend going into the website look and feel is because as soon as you go into the website look and feel in Club Express, wonky things happen. This is not how their menu is supposed to look. And a lot of times, if I go to this page, this is not how my website menu is supposed to look. But I went into the look and feel to add this, and it automatically changed my menu. And this happens quite a lot in Club Express. So that's why I say you might, if you're not good with the website look and feel, just put it on the homepage. Don't mess with your website look and feel. But if you do mess up your website look and feel, the good thing is you can go to versioning. And so they also have versioning, just like the homepage had versioning, where I dropped it into the homepage, I saved it, I made it active, we looked at it live, then I went back and I went to a previous version and made that version live. So now that search bar is no longer there. What I'm going to do right now, because I don't want to mess with their menu, is I'm going to cancel and revert.
Yvonne, someone just asked what email should they send that code to if they'd like you to help with that.
I'll drop that in again.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that feature? And you said when you go into it, you have the option to search the entire web as well. That's one of the features at the bottom.
Yes. So here as an example, and for the people who came in late, I know that this word is on this website. So I typed it in, and at the top, it's given me all the pages on this website specifically that have the word abstract. And if I scroll all the way down, it also gives you the option to go right to Google and search for that word as well.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yvonne, can you go over that one more time? Just so I'm trying to kind of follow along as you're going. And I've
Sure.
got my I moved it, created that bar. I've got it as a text. Where are what are we copying and paste? I mean, I have the website that I link, or the code that I'm supposed to paste in. Where do I put that?
Okay, so not creating the code, you meant where I put it on the homepage.
Yes, right.
Okay. So what I did was I pulled over a row of 33, 33, 33. You can do however you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll do it here. I pull this, I click on the open box that I want to put it in, and I pull text over. I click on text.
Yep.
What you want is not the plain text. See, it says plain text right here. You want the advanced editor. And then when this opens, you click on the HTML tab and you paste the code in, and then just click save. Simple as that. It's a real easy, short code. Now, let's say maybe you want to make this background, you want it to stand out more. I'm going to highlight this whole row, and I'm going to put a background. I'm going to click on the style. Sometimes you'll click and you have to click on it a couple of times until you see this. But once you see this over here, click on style, and I'm just going to put in, you can put in a hex color, something that matches your colors. Let's say hex color is maybe one of you has a gray. And once I put that in, now the background, the whole row of the background is gray. So you can do that to make it stand out, which is what I had done. Oops. Up here. I put the white box in a blue background.
So when I paste mine in, it still just shows the script.
Did you click on the HTML? Again, here, let's do it one more time. I'm going to go to text. Now, right here, it says plain text, but I want advanced editor. So I'm going to click on advanced editor.
Yep.
When that opens, it automatically goes to design. You need to switch to the HTML tab.
That's my problem.
And then you paste it. Now, when you go to design, there's nothing. You don't see anything. But if you went to design and put the code's going to be in the design. So let's just.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any questions about this?
Monica did, but as she says, I think she figured it out. So I'd love to see that they're all doing it at the same time. They're all in there doing it. So great.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing.
And easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any questions about putting in that Google search bar? Okay. Any other questions maybe that if you came in late that you may have brought with you from your site that you wanted to ask directly to Yvonne? You can raise your hand. You want to type it in the chat. Okay, no other questions today. Then let's move on to.
I have a question. It's totally different.
Sure. No, please.
So, one of my coworkers retired, and he actually happened to be our main person on the website, and so now we're all deactivated. And so Jenny wanted me to ask, how do we get that back? How do we reactivate City of Seattle?
Oh, let's see. So I'm going to the People tab and the company, and you said City of Seattle?
Yeah.
Now, I've said this many times, but in case there's anybody here that's new, when you go to the People tab, it automatically defaults to search for members only, and then right here is an active and expired dropdown. I always recommend, because this is a great way to clean up database mistakes, I always recommend clicking on both and checking all, and then hitting the search. Because you'll find things that maybe there's active non-member profiles with active member profiles for the same person, and you want to clean that up and merge them. So, okay, so the person who was your.
Yeah, it was Rick Davison.
So he retired.
Yeah.
And your full regular, so he was the primary, and so when he dropped, he ended up dropping all of you.
Yep.
So what we need to do is we need to promote somebody else from secondary to the primary. Do you know who that should be?
I think probably Selena Chambliss. I believe she's in there.
Yep, I see her right here.
Awesome.
So let's go to member options, level changes, and we are going to promote a secondary. Now, because it's dropped, let's see what happens. Yeah, because it's dropped, she's not going to come up. So
Okay.
what we're first going to do is, well, let's see. We're going to reinstate Rick.
Right, that makes sense.
And now you guys are back all to active. And now we're going to go to member options, level changes, and promote Hambliss. And now what we want to do is just remove him. So let's go to Selena's profile. She's the primary right now. Additional members in her account. And we're going to remove Rick Davison.
Awesome.
And then once you do that, you have to scroll down and hit save. And I don't know if you were here, Jen, at the beginning of the meeting, but I know some other ones weren't. 2 weeks ago, we went through the agency process of dropping members, and it didn't go well.
Okay.
And the reason it didn't go well is I reached out to Club Express right away after we met, and they determined that there is a glitch. The process that I was trying to teach everybody 2 weeks ago was the correct process. It's not working. It's now been 2 weeks exactly since we submitted that support request to them to fix it. They still haven't gotten it fixed. As soon as it's fixed, I'll let everybody know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at Rick Davison. So now he is dropped. And let's just make sure there isn't an invoice in here. So they had not gone through the renewal process yet, so that's good. There's no invoice. Let me just double check Chambliss as well.
Yeah, I think some of us
That's
are
what that
due.
red circle means, that they need to renew, but I just want to make sure there wasn't an open invoice already sitting there.
Okay.
Because if there were an open invoice still in there, it would have Rick's name on it.
Ah, okay. Great. Yeah, I think we didn't get the renewal notice because we were deactivated.
Okay.
So, but I'll have our admin work on getting us active again. Or,
Okay.
yeah, for anybody who's not.
So
Thank
we've
you.
already- Thank you, Jen, for the question. We do have another question here. It's from Monica. I'm not sure what site a chapter she's with. How do we waive the fee of a member? We had to add someone that did not import, but it kept charging them. Monica, what chapter are you with?
With Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Okay, so there's a couple of different ways. Is this one of the agencies? Is it a secondary member or is it a standalone single member?
Secondary.
Okay. As an admin, you can comp the fees. So let's go to the people tab and the people manager. And what is the last name of the person?
It was Langdon, L-A-N-G. It took me a good couple minutes to try to figure it out. And I don't know if I did it correctly. I think I had to add a credit and then apply the credit.
Yes, you could do that, but let's look at it a couple different ways.
Okay.
Just want to see transaction history. Okay, so you did a mid-year change, no charge. Okay. It doesn't look like there's any open fee for
So
this person.
Is this the correct way to do it? Is adding a credit and then applying it? I just don't want it to mess up our treasurer when we run reports, like pretended that she paid or. Not
Yeah,
sure if there was another way.
there's a couple of different ways. Let's look at, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to look here. I see an open invoice right here. As an admin, if you go to the open invoice, you can mark it paid and you can put in a reason. So you can put comp or write off bad, but usually comp. And then you would put a little note in here that would run on the report.
Under the
Like-
people manager or which one, which?
Yes, I went to the people manager.
Okay, and then you search the person?
Mm-hmm. Well, any way that you want to get to the open invoice. So what I did here was I just scrolled down and I found the first open invoice. And I clicked on the payment screen right here. the
Okay.
payment icon. And then under select payment type, you can go to comp, and then you can put a note of why you comped that fee.
Okay, that's good.
Another way to do it is, I do this once in a while. When I have to add somebody, I'll add them as a non-member. Let's see, I'll add, you can, well, all right, let's just do, I'll drop them later. Okay, so test. So now I have a non-member active test, and you can convert this non-member to a member. So when I go to convert this non-member to a member, I choose the member type, and then it automatically puts the fee in there, and you can zero that out.
Okay,
And then what you would do here is then you would link that non-member to the primaries profile. And that again is done with the member options, level changes.
okay,
And that would be linking a solo member to a primary. So that's another way you can do it as well. And let me
perfect, thank you.
just drop. Okay,
We had
any
another
other questions?
we had another question, but I think it got answered by somebody else. They asked if there's a way to do a partial search for a company using asterisks.
Not with asterisks.
Okay.
So if I just wanted to look, this was city, well, actually that was Wisconsin, but I can do something like city, and it's going to pull up everything that has city. This comes in useful. I use this for email sometimes. Like I want all people that have an email address that is
Kenosha.
okay, so yeah, Kenosha. And it'll pull up every email address that has Kenosha in it.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know that anybody in our chapter realizes that.
Yeah.
So that's very good to know. And can I, thank you, Donna. What is the benefit of the primary and secondary members? The only thing I notice is the secondary, it doesn't charge for them.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
So that depends on whether or not your association charges for your secondary members.
Okay.
In Club Express, they have primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is the person, and it depends on how you set up your membership type. A primary would be the person who logs in and pays the invoice. So the secondary also has login credentials. And then tertiary does not have login credentials. I do not believe any NIGP have tertiary members. Primary members and secondary members are charged differently as well through Club Express. You get charged less for your secondary members than you do for primary members. An individual membership, in other words, if you don't have secondary and you just have a regular membership type that's just one person pays one fee, that is considered a primary, basically. So let's say they charge 20 cents a month for every primary member you have. So every individual member you have that does not have secondary or tertiary, just a single membership type, gets charged 20. The primary member of an agency gets charged 20 cents. And then maybe the secondary members underneath that agency only get, Club Express only charges 10 cents per member. So, and then tertiary members are free. Club Express does not charge the association for any tertiary members. But again, you don't have tertiary members, and tertiary members do not have login credentials.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay.
And I know I have one more question. I don't remember it. So I'll come back
That's
when
okay.
Well,
We'll
maybe
come
you'll
back to you,
think of it
Alicia.
when I look at this too, and maybe it'll come to you. So under the member types, here's agency. So the agency has this group allows up to 10 secondary members under the primary, and they're charging $50 for the primary, and they're also charging $50 for every single secondary. So this is where you would control whether or not you're charging for your secondary members. And then
Okay.
see, this is where it says no for tertiary. And if they turned on yes, then they could charge $10 for tertiary and maybe limit it to 5.
Okay. Oh, I do remember my question. And I don't know that if this is Club Express or this is just something else we do. So on Club Express, normally like we just have our generic, info@MAGPA email, which is fine. But there's a treasurer email, the membership email. Where do you go to put that in? Because I don't get any of the emails. I still get some of the treasury ones when I was treasurer, but now I'm the membership chair and I don't get any of those. And I don't remember where any of that is supposed to go in the system.
And which group you're with, Mississippi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So under the control panel, you go to the communications tab. Communications, and then, oh, yeah, where is it? Oh, I didn't check. I didn't click on the communications tab. Communications tab, email accounts. And in here you can, so this one could, it's possible this one's not working because you can see it has that little semicolon. You can put a semicolon in between if you want it to go to multiple, be forwarded to multiple email addresses.
Okay.
So like if I wanted this to, so is this, I don't know if this person's getting them, so I'm going to remove this semicolon.
That's fine. And she is because she's forwarding them to me.
Okay. So if you want to get an email, also what you would do if you wanted, instead of her forwarding the email to you, you would just go in here and you would add a semicolon and then no space and type your email address and then click save. You can put in multiple email addresses. There is a character limit. I don't know exactly what the character limit is. I think
Okay.
it's about 200. But you can send it to multiple people, have it forwarded to multiple people.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia, for those questions. Any other questions that came to mind as she's going through these? If not, Yvonne, let's go on to our other subject matter. I know that fall is upon us, which means it is election time for a lot of your chapters. So we want to talk about, and we have talked about it before, but just as a reminder, the module with surveys and how you can do elections through the process. While you're queuing that up, we did have a chapter that specifically asked us, not able to be on the call, is if anybody is already using this that she could contact. If you would put your name and chapter in the chat, that would be great. I'd like to connect the two of you. She just would like to talk with somebody through that. But Yvonne, if you could show the group that portion of the site.
Okay, so Kaylee's actually going to do this and show you, but I'll start it, the conversation. So the surveys are under communications tab. And I do want to point out one thing, because I did have Washington reach out to me last week because they were doing a election, and it was requiring members to log in order to take the to vote. And the reason it was requiring them to log in is, and I don't know if they had set it up, I'm not on their website, I don't know if they had set it up for an election, but one thing I want to point out is this PM. If you see this PM, what PM means is that this survey module is available to both public and members. So in other words, let's say you're doing a survey of just, you have your trade show and you want to send out a survey to everybody who attended, and the people who attended are members and non-members. If you have this set to only M members, the non-members won't be able to click the link and take the survey. So just so you know that. And the way that you change that is you go to configure, and then you find the module that you want to change. And right here is any website visitor or members only. So if I change this right now, and you can actually drill it down to a member type. So let's say maybe agency members are not allowed to vote for your board. then you could change it that you want only regular members to be able to see this. If you're not going to use the survey module for anything other than voting, you can change it that only regular members are going to see it. But I'm not going to do that right now. But I'm going to change it to members only and save and close. And now you'll see it change to M. So now only members can take the surveys. So let me just switch that back real quick. And that's just about every single module in here. Oh, sorry. So that's just about every single module in here. One other thing I might as well show you is there's
Yvonne?
also,
Yvonne, that kept stayed just at members.
I think I just had to refresh. Let me
Okay,
see.
all right, sorry. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
There it is. Sorry.
Another thing you can do, oops, excuse me, as long as I'm in here, is you can do a quick link. You can create a quick link, and it's, let's say, serve. See if that works. Who is this group? And this is not a good example of it. I'm going to remove it, but you can do this for any of the modules. And now instead of having to add a link up here, or just just an easier, quicker way to get to it, you can just type in and it's going to open up the surveys. So you can share this link with people, in other words. So that's just, like I said, that's in all the modules. You can do that in any of the modules. Let me just get rid of that though real quick. Like events, just an easier way. Events is a good one because then you would just type in the website /events and it would go directly to your events calendar. Okay, so Kaylee, are you ready?
Yes, I just have to take over the share screen. Okay. Okay. Okay, so within the survey module, I'm just going to show you how to get started and configure. You can configure a survey or an election. The difference between the two being that an election is required to be anonymous. And so when you're polling that election results, you will not have the information of which member submitted which vote. So under communications, going into the survey module, I've already created an example that we can take a look at, but did just want to start by showing that there are survey categories. And most of the modules on Club Express have categories to keep things organized. So I've gone in and added a category of election, and you do that just by adding a survey category. So going back to add a survey, you'll click Add Survey. And I've titled my example as 2026 board, whatever title for the survey or election. You can provide a brief description. You can configure as election. If you do that, you're going to see that below here is going to automatically change to anonymous. Pop up there. So once that's done, you cannot go back. And that's basically because once somebody has submitted, you can't go back and say it's not an election. So now we are required to allow anonymous responses. You do have to pick the category of the survey or election, whether or not it will be members or open to the public. An election must be members only. The survey button text is going to say, you could say like, submit your vote, whatever you'd like it to show, and then you can choose an end date for that to cut off. you want to select a contact person, and then the show post amble last. I will show you what that means in just a second. So I'm just gonna hit cancel and show you how this election I have set up. To view it, and this is also how you're going to find the link to provide to your members. You'll click this eyeball icon. Oh, geez. Well, give me 1 second. I'm going to delete this response. Okay. All right, so to view the survey, hopefully we don't have to hard refresh. Okay, so you'll click the eyeball icon. This is the preamble. I'll show you where to find that, but you could put in brief text here to introduce your members to the survey. They'll follow to the next page. And what we have here is a vote for president. This is called a checkbox list. Now, I have set it so that they're not required, of course, to vote if they don't want to vote for president. The checkbox list is a little bit finicky because, as you can see, you can vote for 3 people, but I have set it to a maximum selection of 1. So if I were to vote for all 3 for president, I'm going to get an error box when I hit next. Yes, I approve the bylaws. These are called radio buttons. It's only going to let me select 1. The one caveat to radio buttons is there are only 2 choices that you can list. So when I hit next, I have to correct the error of I can only choose 1 president. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. After I submit that, here's where that post amble was when we were initially setting up. If you were to check that checkbox that said show post amble last, this would not have pulled up as a new screen. It would have been on the previous page at the bottom of the choices. So that's just a feature if you want there to be a second screen. Hit next. You will review your responses as you're taking the election and submit. I'll show you how to set up those questions. It is fairly straightforward. It's a simple survey. Those questions are here. The preamble is here and the postamble is here. I'll show you what that looks like. It's very basic text, no formatting. I mean, there's basic formatting. You can change the font size, bold, etc. Same thing with the postamble. And then in the questions. So you can have multiple pages if it's an extensive survey. If it's a simple survey, 1 page is usually enough. Or if you'd like it to be 1 long page, if it is a complex survey, you can keep it as all 1 page. So I've set up the president as a checkbox list. It is not required. To add a question, you would go in here, but basically it's going to pull up the same thing as when I edit this already existing question. I have it set to go to page 1. This is the question name. This is for admin purposes so that you can organize it easily. The answer type is here. That's where I was talking about that checkbox list. There are several other types of questions that you can do, a true or false. I think I said radio buttons could only have 2 item lists, but I think I'm wrong. I think you can have multiple responses to a radio button, but it will only allow you to choose 1. So this question text here would be vote for president, say.
And can I interrupt here real quick?
Sure.
If you noticed, when Kaylee switched the question answer type, she lost what she had already typed into that box. See how she just lost it? So if you have a long text there and you realize that you have the wrong answer type and you need to change the answer type, make sure you copy, cut and copy the long question text before you change it, because it's going to blank out what was in that box that you've already typed.
Yes, yeah. Club Express has those little finicky things. So vote for president. Response is not required, or it is, with an election, probably not. You can allow comments if they'd like to submit comments. Or you can allow an option to come up that says other, where they can type in maybe somebody else that they'd like to elect. So let's see what that looks like. And I'm going to hard refresh. I may have to log in and log out and log back in to see those changes, but let me delete my previous response. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Maybe they want to vote for Sam instead. So yeah, that's basically, I mean, checkbox lists, radio buttons, those are some of those, simple ways to set up your election or your survey. And then now the last thing I'll show you is how to export that information. So I have one response submitted, and if I want to view the results of my election, there's a couple ways you could do it. You can just view them easily by looking at the results here. And if there were multiple, you would see multiple. Clicking on this icon here, you have that. And then you can also export the response details. But going back, there's another option to download a CSV. And that one is here, exports. And now I have a download. I'm just going to pull it up and see what that looks like. And here we have the results of president bylaws. This is coming up because the survey would typically show you all of this information about which member submitted which response, but this is an election, so it is, eliminating all of that information.
Haley, can I ask one question? I know we have another one. Somebody asked another question in the chat that we want to get to, but I've heard this question before in another web platform. When you have an election, it's very possible that somebody is running already has access to the back end, so they'd be able to see the process of the election. Is there a way to block certain people because their name is on the ballot from viewing this piece of the website without logging out everything that they have access to?
Yes, it would depend on whether or not they have full admin access to the back end or if they're coordinators.
Okay.
So if you go into your organization, so we don't have, well, I guess let's see what we have. So all of us are administrators. If this person was not an administrator, a coordinator could have access to every module if you'd want to give that to them. But if you wanted to add this person or edit this person's coordinator functions, you'd simply go down. So this is basically what they see in the control panel in the back end. You would go down to communications and remove them from surveys. So now the surveys just won't show for them in their control panel. Does that make sense?
And basically the difference between a full admin and a coordinator, the full admin has access to the website look and feel. So you should have very few people have full admin access. So if for some reason the person who you're talking about that you don't want to see the survey results should have full admin access, for the amount of time that you're doing the elections, remove them from full admin, give them access to everything else except surveys, and then once the election is done, remove them as a coordinator and assign them back as a full admin.
And chapters, I highly encourage you doing that. We've had some issues in the past where that step has not been done and has created a little bit of chaos with someone monitoring that. So it's just, I think it's a very good practice to do, is that when you set that up, is to make sure those that you're putting on the ballot don't have access. That should be part of that process. So there are no questions down the road about if they were able to monitor that.
Yeah, and they would be able to delete too.
Yes,
Perhaps
so
like one of the responses and they deleted them. So yeah, that's a good
that
point.
was accused. So it's a very good practice to have in place, is that it's great that we can use this feature, but a lot of times you will have a treasurer that's now running for secretary or president that will have access to certain things. So it's just a good SOP to put into place when setting that up.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen again, and we had a question come in.
Thank you, Kaylee, for going over that. Appreciate it.
Of course.
So you're seeing East Tennessee, right?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and come off of mute if you can, and explain your question a little bit better to us.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, ours is set up apparently so that we are not able to make electronic refunds. And we had always been able to do that in the past, and so I've been having to write checks to refund people. And we just would like to see that set up so that we can do the electronic refunds.
Okay, so on the money tab here, I'm clicking on money options, and I see that you are using Club Express's merchant account. So what you need to do in order to refund is you have to create if somebody has paid a credit card fee, for example, to attend an event, and they cancel their registration, you have to cancel the registration in order to create a credit, and then you refund the credit. But you have to actually cancel the charge in Club Express. So let's just say, I'm not going to do it, of course, but let's say it is, let's see. Sorry, let me find a primary active. So if I go to I clicked on this person's profile, and I'm going to go to their payment credit history and look at all, and sure, there's none in there. All right, let me look somewhere else real quick. I'm going to go to the money tab. I'm only doing this to find somebody for myself. You don't have to follow.
Oh, you can use Catherine Purdue.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's go back. People, and is that PUR?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's PER.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what sorry. So as a non-member, you click on this last one here, more options, and we're going to go to payment history. So I'm assuming this $75 is what you were hoping to refund.
Yes.
Clicking on the receipt here, it was for an event registration. So you actually have to cancel her event registration. So this is
Okay.
November.
Back on that last screen,
Mhm.
did it not say that all payments are final?
Mhm.
And so does that statement keep me from doing that?
No,
Oh, okay, great.
not at all. This is a
Okay.
statement you put in as part of your policy, but no, you can still do it.
Okay,
So,
good.
so I'm going to go to the November event. Website events future. And that was in November 6th. And then I'm going to go to registrations, and I'm going to find Purdue. And I don't know if you want me to do this, but if she's not attending, I would cancel her registration.
Yeah, she is not attending.
Would you
I
like me to
mean,
cancel?
she is attending, but she is, because of their, oh,
She gets
shoot,
to attend for
their
free.
bylaws, she gets to come free. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna cancel this registration, and a little pop-up comes up that says cancel registration. I'm gonna hit no, and I do not want to send her an email notification because it's gonna confuse her. So I'm gonna also hit no here. I mean, I
Okay.
hit yes before, but I'm gonna hit no here. This way she does not know we're doing anything about her registration.
Okay.
Okay, so now she's canceled. You're gonna have to re-register her, but now we can refund the $75 by going to the control panel, money, open credits. Sorry, it's going round and round. It's a little slow. And now she has an open credit. And this sign right here, if I click on this, it'll go to refund her. Let's say you wrote her a check already. So if you cancel a registration and you refund somebody by check and you do not go into open credits and cancel out that open credit, the next time they go to register for something, they're going to have a $75 credit.
Okay.
So if you, for some reason, did send them a check back, you'd want to come here and go to the pencil icon, and you'd want to go to refund. It does not refund her. It just marks that credit as refunded. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not going to do that because then I won't be able to refund her $75. So
Okay,
that's
great.
just clearing out a credit. To actually refund her when you're using Club Express's merchant account is you click on this green dollar sign, and here you can hold back some money. Let's say your policy is you have to keep $10 back if they cancel. Then you can edit the amount of refund here, but you're refunding her the full amount. And I would just, is it okay if I click process refund?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so now we process the refund, and in a second, this is going to disappear. It's still going round and round, and now it'll most likely take, up to 5 to 7 days for her to get the refund, but she will be refunded. And now you have to register her for that event as a free attendee. So
Okay.
there's a couple of ways you can do that. I'm going to look at who can register, and activities. So she registered for the in-person, and who can register. So you only have one registrant type for in-person. So if you've got to add a, is she a sponsor or?
No, she's CHAP's president. It's a joint conference.
Okay, so let's see. Who can register here? What I normally do is I would normally do something like an everyone. And this is comp registrations. Sorry. And I'm only going to make this visible to admins and coordinators. So in other words, somebody going to the website is not going to see this registration and be able to choose this registration type. So I've added that now, and I'm going to save. And then I'm going to go back to the activity in person, and I'm going to add that comp registration, and the fee is 0. And it's only visible to admins and coordinators, and save. And now I'm going to go to registrations, add, register now. Again, I'm an admin, so I see this. Regular members would not. I'm going to choose that. And I'm signing up a non-member. I have to add her to that activity. I forgot to look at her receipt to do this. I didn't realize but I can edit this after we're done with this meeting and not hold everybody up. I'm gonna hit next. I don't want to send her a confirmation email. Again, it's going to confuse her. So I'm going to uncheck that box and complete registration. And now she's registered. If I go here, here's her canceled one, and here's her free one. And
Okay,
I'm just
great.
gonna look at this canceled so that I can get her the correct information, and I'll adjust her registration to give those questions. You don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Anyone else have any questions? Jennifer, you're on mute.
Sorry. God, when are we going to stop doing that to ourselves? You think we'd learn by now. I don't see any more questions in the chat or raised hands, and we are at the top of the hour, but thank you very much. I think that was a lot of good information shared. And we do have recordings after these, correct? They get posted.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate your time today.
Great. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.